Today, I will be reading Chapter 1 of Sumay's latest book, which has not been titled yet. Chapter 1. The autumn sky dimmed as time grew later. My window was open as I watched the sun sink lower into the sky. A brisk wind blew my purple hair into my face as I tried to will the sun to rise again. I dreaded the next day when rain would come. Sometimes I just wanted to suck her into a black hole and be rid of her, but no one would let me do that, especially when I have a billion people watching over me. I know I'm not a normal child, because normal kids aren't born with purple hair. Normal kids can't construct stars and black holes. Normal kids don't have wings. My eyelids drooped, and I crawled into my star. The warmness melted away my worries, enough that I could go to sleep, but my heart still dreaded the next day. The next day I was woken up by Rain, shouting at me to wake up. Her pretty blue hair swayed as she created floating water droplets to pat my face repeatedly. Rain is really pretty. She has medium-length blonde hair tipped with light blue. Her eyes are deep blue and wise, and her delicate sky-blue wings were crafted to perfection. No one ever told me I was pretty. All I know is that I'm prettier than dusk. I have long purple hair, big dark blue wings. But the thing that really makes me different is my eyes. They're dark, majestic violet, and I'm proud of them.
"Get up, you lazy bum! I can't believe I'm stuck with you,"
she roared, splashing bigger mounds of water at me now. I crawled out of bed, making a small black hole to suck up all the water. I changed into a black shirt, purple shorts, walked out of the room with angry Rain. I dreaded what was coming next, but Rain said I have to and can't argue with Rain. We walked into an office, and I never saw before. It had tall windows with bright sunlight shining through. An old lady at the counter sat on a chair made of ice. I guessed that her element must be ice. Rain walked up to the old lady and asked for paperwork to enter me into a secret school for people like me, people with powers. I dragged my feet over to the table and started filling it out. Once I was done, the lady led me into a secret door with a bunch of rooms and an elevator. She led me to the elevator and put a hand on my shoulder. It was cold but comforting. After we reached the floor we needed to be in, the old lady said goodbye, and I followed Rain into a corridor with screen listings out the group's names. Teacher, Rain. Ice, Star, Pond, Ember, Scorch, Dove. Rain sighed with relief.
"At least one water,"
she mumbled to herself. I followed her to another long hallway with lots of doors. We passed two girls with blue hair squealing over white, round, glowing hall. What if nobody likes me? I think to myself. Well, too late now, because I'm about to walk right into that classroom. We stopped at the door that was extra polished and said in a big fancy font, "Rain," over the top. The door swung open and I instantly could smell what smelt like ocean. Rain's shoulders relaxed a bit as she walked into the large blue room. Inside there were 5 kids around my age. But unlike most kids I saw walking around Washington, they all looked odd, like me. The first person I saw was Ice. Her pretty white hair is pulled into a ponytail that swung back and forth as she skipped toward her chair made of ice. Ice's eyes were pale blue. That made you wonder. If you don't know her power, if she is blind. She isn't blind, of course, it just made you wonder. Next to Ice were 2 twins, Ember and Scorch. Ember looked kind and pretty, but always shielded her eyes away from everybody, like she was embarrassed about them. Meanwhile, Scorch had a scowl across her face. She was shivering as she kept fueling his fire that he made with his hands. Next there was Water, named Pond. He looked shy and intelligent, sitting in the corner reading a book. Rain looked as if she wanted to run over to the corner and give Pond a hug. Lastly there was Dove. She was super pretty, looked extremely kind and shy, kept glancing at Rain. And most of all, Rain did everything to keep herself from glancing at Dove.
Okay, guys. Scorch, what are you doing? You're going to burn the place down,
Rain shrieked as she ran over and quickly put out the fire with Water. Scorch shot her an annoyed look and huddled in the corner where he started making a new fire, smaller than the last one. Rain took a deep breath, like she was going to start yelling at him again, but exhaled and kept going.
As you guys know, you all have powers.
I knew that, I said rather loudly, smiling and making snowballs and pelting Scorch with them. Scorch looked terribly annoyed, melted one of them by making little puddles on the floor.
Everybody listen to me now,
Rain shouted. Everybody immediately turned towards Rain.
Good. Now I'm going to try to help you with your powers, and protect you too.
Ember and Scorch all of a sudden started acting really weird, fiddling with little pieces of cloth. Scorch started shivering more. I sent a little piece of star toward his direction, shaped as a little blanket. Scorch relaxed a little, not showing any gratitude, but Ember gave me a kind look. That's when I saw her eyes and almost fell out of my seat. Her eyes were bright red, burning a hole straight through you. I forced myself to smile back at her, hoping I hadn't hurt her feelings. She must have noticed because she reached into her pocket, pulled out a pair of sunglasses, giving me an apologetic look. I felt bad, but I still wondered about everything around here. It felt cold, like something magical was filling up the air.
Ah, la 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 la, la 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 la,
A voice screamed from outside the door. Skylar, come back here. We gotta keep practicing so you can get better at wish orbs, a voice called back, with a hint of annoyance.
Ah,
Skylar answered.
Skylar, what are you doing?
Shadow, don't you dare come out, another voice shrieked, getting louder as she ran. Now, Lunia, don't yell at your sister, the voice said, getting more annoyed. Oh, sorry. This is hard. Maybe you should read the rest. I'm gonna do it. That was fun, though. This is really cool.
La 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 la. That's my character.
All right.
Okay.